So let's get this party started. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this young man, he hails from South Carolina, Summersville area, doing a fantastic job. They had a training there a couple of weeks ago, and I think they're going to start every week or every other week. They're going to start training again. They're in the South Carolina area, building it up. I know he's doing a fantastic job, him and his partner and his lovely wife, and they're doing a great job. So without further ado, and I love last Monday, I don't know about you guys, but I got a blessing last week, especially with Lionel Richie was saying about, oh, man, that was powerful. Without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to Regional Director, Mr. Curtis Evans.
Well, we're happy to be with you. Got some really good information for you. I want everybody to stay close and get some notes so you can write some of these numbers down. There's going to be some figures. All right. First of all, I'm going to do a little exercise with you. I want to assume that everybody on this call is 60 years old. Now, I know some of y'all are going to be mad about that. Some of y'all are going to be happy about that, wish you was 60. But just assume for a minute that you were 60. And your plans, I'm going to give you a plan. Your plan is to live till you are 100, okay? So you're going to do whatever you got to do to live to 100. I'm not talking about living another 40 bad years where you're sick and, in the hospital and, different, just can't do for yourself. I'm talking about 40 good years where everything works. Your head is clear, no dementia, no Alzheimer's, your bones and your muscle mass, all your heart is beating strong and all that, because you're eating good and you're exercising every day. So you're doing the right things. What good is any of this? What good is any of this if you're not around? What good is any of this if you have residual income, but you can't enjoy it? What good is any of this if you have residual income and you can't go anywhere? You're just stuck, So you want to try to have the best possible health that you can have. And that means you have to stay moving, okay? You need to stay moving, drink a lot of water, vitamin down, work out, just do all the things. Now, we're going to give you a course on what to do because most of us know what to do. That's not the problem. The problem is doing it. Same thing with our business here. We're in multi-level marketing. It's one of the best companies on this planet. And we probably know what to do, but we're not doing it. So what's the difference between not knowing what to do with your health and not doing it, or knowing what to do with the business and not doing it? Knowing is not good enough. We got to put it in action. The Bible says faith without what? Works is dead. That means you got to be doing something, okay? Now, I want to scare you a little bit, but there's some hope in this. There's some hope. The hope is that the self-development that we've all been taking in, and you'll need more. The self-development is that Mr. Thomas has been giving you, the self-development you've been getting from books and magazines and reading and going to conventions. It's going to get you through a lot, okay? It's going to get you through a lot. But if you're 60 and you're going and your plans to live another 40 years, that's a long time. Now think about it. 40 years would mean, when you were 20 years old, I want everybody to imagine when they were 20, okay? 20 years old, 20 to 40, if you're to 60, is 40 years. How much did a young Mr. Thomas do between 20 years old and 60, if he's, I don't know how old he is, really, nobody knows. But the secret, yeah, I don't know. What I'm saying, I'm 71, okay? But what I'm saying though is this: the difference between 20 and 60 is 40 years, and you got a lot done. If you're 50, what you got done between 10 and 50 is a lot. If you're 40, well, you certainly did a lot because you couldn't do nothing when you were born. So 40 years is a lot of time, okay? Now, what I'm doing now is saying you got 40 more years, okay? You got 40 more years on the planet. If you have 40 more years on the planet, you got a lot to go. There's a lot of stuff is going to happen. A whole lot of stuff is going to happen, and you're going to do a lot. But this time we're smarter because we're not 10 no more. We're not 20 no more. We're smarter, okay? So what I'd like you to do is imagining living another 40 years on this planet, and the lifestyle that you want to have is possible. So a lot of times, the reason I say that is because a lot of times the older you get, you say, well, my time is over. I should have done this when I was in my 20s. I should have done this when I was in my 30s. I should have done this when I was in my 40s. Not knowing that you're relatively young right now, okay? compared to compared to another 40 years from now. So let's get prepared for this. We've already went through what? We already went through the self-development program. And here's what this is mostly what self-development would give you. I'm gonna tell you now. Your ability or inability to take a no. Self-development to me is your ability or inability to take a no. So if I went to show if I went to show Joshua Casey the business, and he said, Curtis, it sounds good, but it's not for me. And that messes my mind up so bad that I quit the business. Okay. I showed him the plan. It's a great plan. He doesn't like it. Really, the thing is, it's not a good time for him. I quit the business. I quit because I had 3 no's in a row, or 4 no's in a row, or 5 no's in a row. The secret to success is taking those no's. Because when a yes comes in, and that person, because you know what to do now, and that person knows someone, and they got a yes, and that person knows somebody, and they deliver an IBO to you that puts in 10,000, 15,000 IBOs, not customers, IBOs into your organization, maybe 40 or 50,000 customers. Was it worth it to go through 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 no's to get to a person that knew somebody that knew somebody? This thing is going to be different. This is not what you think. I talked to 2 or 3 people and none of them were interested. This is not that. This is about you talking to a lot of people, getting to somebody that says yes, and they know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody on your 3rd level, 4th level, and boom, the world blows up. I think anybody in multi-level marketing will tell you they're cringing in their seats when somebody goes up on stage and gets an award for going to RVP or SVP or whatever. Because the person that's sitting in that seat down there know how they came into the business. Somebody in that crowd knows it was a fluke that this person that came in is in their organization. This person that came in is in their organization. So you got to really understand this is all numbers. How many people are we talking to a month? We're going to talk to 100 a month. And then next month, another 100. And the next month, another 100. We're going to get professionals at talking to 100 people a month. And Mr. Thomas has already encouraged that. He said 3 a day times 30 days is what? 90 to 100 people a month that you're talking to. So you're getting paid for what you did, not what your upline did and not what your downline did, what you did. Okay, so we already went through that this month. I want to help you to understand that's your work. And your work is to show other people how to do that. And this system that we have called ACN, the process that it has, the balanced compensation plan that it has, it will work for everybody. Okay, the question is, did you do the work? And I think a lot of people don't know what the work is. I'm not sure if I knew what the work was. Okay, the work is going through those numbers, okay, and getting a lot of what? No's. And your ability to handle the no's means your personal development is getting better and better and better and better and better. And the ability to follow up with some of those no's and how you do that. We're not going to talk about that today. But what I want to emphasize with you today is I'm going to show you 2 videos, okay? And they're going to back up what I'm telling you now, okay? Because we are, now you've heard this before, but we're at a crazy spot in life. This is crazy what's going on in the world right now. Let me explain this for you really, really, really well. Years ago, for thousands of years, people worked on a farm. They worked on a farm. It took a lot of people to work on a farm to make food. And then when we were moving from the agriculture age about 100 years ago to the Industrial Revolution, the people had to come off the farm and go to work in factories, and everybody was concerned. Everybody said, well, where are we going to get food if nobody's farming? Where are we going to get food? Well, tractors took over that. That's the technology, tractors and all kinds of equipment. That was the technology that took over that. So right now we make a lot of food, but we don't have that many people actually, working in the fields. Okay. At the end of the Industrial Revolution, as it slowed down, we went into the information age. Everybody's worried, well, who's going to make stuff? Who's going to make stuff if everybody's typing on a computer? If everybody's typing on a computer, we're moving into the information age. You need to go back to school. You need to learn about 0 and 1s. You need to go and the computers got easier, and we're all using it right now. That's how we got on this call. People all over the country is on Mr. Thomas's call right now because of technology. What I'm saying to you all is there was a home for the people that left the Industrial Revolution, and went into the information age. And we even had in 2000, the whole thing burst. There was a dot-com pop, and it burst, but it got bigger after that, okay? So we understand that. This time, we're going from the information age and some stuff slowing down in the industrial age. We're going into this thing called AI. Now, I want you to understand the significance of it, because I want you to say that you heard this before, but you didn't pay it any attention. As we move into the AI in this world of AI, I'm still studying, I'm learning about it. The company's put a lot of money on the table because of AI. Our company put a lot of money on the table because of AI. If you personally do not understand what's going to happen in the future, you'll quit for some stupid reason, or stop, or slow down, or people not getting through your 100 names and not doing 3 a day or whatever, because you didn't understand where you were in human history when the computer was created, when the tractor was created, when electricity was created. You didn't understand the significance of all the things that was going on at the time. Right now, our stock market is as high as it's ever been, and it's primarily because a lot of wealthy people are throwing a lot of money into what? AI. Into AI. Okay, so what I'm gonna show you a video. It's gonna help you to help explain that. And it's with a company that you all know. I needed a part for my Porsche the other day. I ordered the part. They said it'll be here. It was at night, by 8 or 9 o'clock at night. I ordered it. And it said it'll be here tomorrow. And I said, tomorrow, I'm used to 3 days, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, but it said it'll be here tomorrow. Now this is 8 or 9 o'clock at night. It's an odd part. And the next morning, around 8 o'clock, it was being at the door, the part was at my house the next morning. Now we all used to that. We know that can happen, right? But once upon a time, we're used to that now. Once upon a time, you went down, got the Sears catalog, you went down to the Porsche deal, they had to order it from Germany, and you waited a week, 2, 3, 4 before that part came. Now that part was ordered one night and it came the next day, okay? How does that happen? And most importantly, I'm gonna save this before I start the video. The folks at at Amazon plan in 2030, which is 4 years from now, not to have a single employee. They plan to have all those warehouses running. Now, I'm sure there'll be some management. They plan to have all those warehouses running, and they plan to double their business. Now, listen to me. They plan to double what they're doing today. With how many employees? Twice as many? No. The same amount? No. 0. That's why so much money is going in AI. Now, my question for all of us, you say, what does that got to do with us, Curtis? There's a bunch of people that's going to be interested in what we do. There's going to be a bunch of people out there, not because they want to do what we do, not because they all like doing what we do. They have no other choice. This word of mouth thing that's been going on forever since Jesus was on earth, word of mouth is going to be is a business that we're in. So I want you to understand and listen carefully to this video. Now, my job is to get it out, to play it. So here we go.
Concerns that Amazon, the second largest private employer in the country, is planning one of the biggest workplace transformations in modern history.
One of the things that we've been proud of over our 10-year history is the ability to develop robots that work well alongside people.
It comes amid growing fears of technology replacing human workers. The so-called godfather of artificial intelligence has been sounding the alarm.
If I worked in a call center, I'd be terrified. If I was someone like a legal assistant, a paralegal, they're not going to be needed for very long. For mundane intellectual labor, AI is just going to replace everybody.
Well, artificial intelligence absolutely has already been a disrupting force in the job market, and it's expected to get a lot worse, especially with some of the announcements that have been made by Amazon. Now, Amazon's US workforce has more than tripled since 2018 to almost 1.2 million people. And they are expecting to essentially shed more than 500,000 jobs. So let me tell you how. Amazon's automation team expects the company can avoid hiring more than 160,000 people in the United States. It would otherwise need by 2027. That would save about 30 cents on each item that Amazon picks, packs, and delivers to customers. The question is, Will they have customers when people are unable to make an income due to artificial intelligence? I don't know. Let's tell you more. Now, executives told Amazon's board last year that they hoped robotic automation would allow the company to continue to avoid adding to its US workforce in the coming years, even though they expect to sell twice as many products by 2033. So again, that would translate to more than 600,000 people who Amazon doesn't hire because they don't need to. They've been replaced by artificial intelligence. But they do plan to hire 250,000, 250,000 people for the upcoming holiday season. It's unclear how many of those roles would be permanent. I would venture to say not many of them. What do you think, Cenk?
Yeah, just the holiday season, they always hire temporary help. That doesn't mean anything. That's very normal. That's just them trying to cover their ass. I think super interesting fact coming out of the story is apparently your job is worth about 30 cents per item. Okay, so now we know that interesting fact if you're a blue collar worker working for Amazon or one of these other companies. So by the way, I would rather have everyone in America have a job and pay 30 cents more per item. And you're not going to be able to afford that item 30 cents or otherwise if you don't have a job. So, okay, now the most devastating parts. This AI Nakba is coming, and people are not prepared for it. None of the politicians are. They haven't made any preparations at all, and it is going to be far more devastating than anyone realizes. So that every once in a while, people will give warnings, like the creator of AI in the first place, me, whoever else, right? And those warnings are completely ignored. Why am I positive that this is going to be a collapse in terms of the job market, which then is going to lead to obviously a catastrophic economic collapse, is because this is inevitable. I know business, I know math. And so when you tell a giant corporation that is publicly traded on the stock market, you could make more money by doing X, unless X is illegal, and sometimes even if it is illegal, they will do X, period. End of question. In fact, if they don't do X, they will be fired. They have a fiduciary responsibility to maximize profit. And if the first guy doesn't do it, you remove that CEO and you bring in the next CEO. So is Amazon going to be cutting their jobs drastically over these next set of years because they can? Yes, obviously. Sometimes I read these articles and they make it seem like it's like, oh, they might or they might not. And Amazon puts out a statement, oh, don't worry, we're hiring seasonal help, right? Guys, absolutely inevitable. There is no publicly traded company that can cut costs and doesn't do it. So they're gonna take out a huge chunk of their workers, but of course this isn't just about Amazon. Amazon's just symbolic. That's gonna be a wave that hits that industry, guaranteed. That is a very AI prone industry. So UPS, Walmart, many others that are affected by that. And then of course, almost all other industries. You saw there, again, the original founder talking about how the white collar jobs are in a lot of trouble, like paralegals and others. Middle management is in huge trouble. So we're gonna lose an unbelievable percentage of the jobs in this country. And then people think, oh no, the stock market, it's AI and we're gonna have a new beautiful future. Yeah, but the guys that lost their jobs are not going to be part of that future. They're like, oh, we're creating jobs, 8 jobs for people that are great at nanotech or something. How is the Amazon driver or factory worker gonna learn nanotech technology overnight? No, there's gonna be decimation in this country soon and throughout the world.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it doesn't really look like our government cares about it at all. I mean, in fact, they tried to slip through a provision that would prevent the regulation of artificial intelligence just to make sure that there's absolutely no brakes on this car. And the ultimate goal, according to Amazon, is to essentially automate 75% of their operations. But by the way, they don't want people to think that's bad, to your point. And so they're using all sorts of hilarious euphemisms as if we're all stupid and we can't figure out what's going on here. The documents contemplate avoiding using terms like automation and AI when discussing robotics, and instead use terms like advanced technology, or replace the word robot with cobot, because that makes it better, which implies collaboration with humans. Oh my God, these like corporate brained idiots. Like, I love it so much. They're such, I mean, they're destroying everything, but they're idiots.
Yeah, no, Anna, they're dobots, dork robots.
They totally are. Yeah.
So if you rename it, it's okay, because before it was torture and that was terrible and disgusting and illegal, but now it's enhanced interrogation, so it's totally okay. And so same thing here. Before it was AI that's definitely going to take your job. No, it's now advanced technology that's definitely going to take your job. Guys, did you hear what she said? 75%. They're going to fire eventually 3/4 of their workers. And so is the next company and the next company. That's a Nakba is a catastrophe, okay? An AI Nakba is coming straight in our direction. And the politicians are so short term. They're like, okay, yeah, which donor gave me money? Which donor? This one, which one am I serving, right? No, brother, look up, look up, look up. There's that AI iceberg right there. It's like, yeah, that's for average American. And in the stock market, they think like, what do you mean? The AI companies are all going through the roof. The social media companies are doing great. Yes, but what happens when no one has a job and no one can buy anything? You didn't think of that? So, and then that affects all of our 401ks and our retirement plans when the market crashes. So I don't want to scare you too much, but yeah, it's gonna, like, it would be very surprising if this economic catastrophe didn't happen. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.
That's coming now. That was one company they were talking about. They were talking about one company, Amazon. With the company I used to work for, we had 3,000 employees there. 3,000 employees. I don't work there any longer. They're now down to 550, I think, 550, 560, and they build twice as many products. You got me a friend of mine that you guys, Mr. Thomas knows his name, Reggie Lawson. He left there because they didn't need him no more. This is middle management, upper management. You don't need management to manage robots. And they work all night long, all day long. They work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You need a few people to keep them going. This is the world that we're about to go into, and nobody knows what to do with the people. Before, they knew to put the people from the farm into the factory, and then from the factory in front of some computers. Now they don't know what to do with the people. Now, something's going to happen. We don't know what it's going to be. But what I'm telling you now, for us, we in network marketing, there are going to be people hunting us down. I'm not, they're going to ask Mr. Thomas, which company are you with? They're going to ask Mr. Cubic, well, what company are you with? They're going to be asking, what product are you using? What product? So this is what's going to happen. Right now, they're just not interested. They're more interested in who played who last night and who won by 10 points. And did you see the touchdown? Did you see the quarter? That's just what people do. And we're getting ready for this avalanche. So what I want you to do, in fact, sometime later on this week, I'm trying to decide what's going to be. Hold on one second. Jimmy, I'm going to call you right back. So they're trying to decide. I'm trying to decide because I'm going to sign back up again under the company. Okay, me personally. Okay, so we need these 2 hours. So Reggie and I are going to go into RD. Both run the RD and get those 2 RDs we need, and then we got a couple other people coming along. So we're going to have to outthink this. So sometime it'll be late this week into October. I'm not sure if I'm going into November, but it'll be early. And get started all over again. I need 75 points. That's easy. What is 10 vivids? 10 vivids, 5 to 7, 8 vivids. You got your customers out of it. And then we're going to go build there. But this is a bad time not to do anything. The world is coming toward us. Customers are going to be coming toward us. And the world is just in our favor. Now I got one more short video, it's 2 minutes. And this is a skill I need you to have. This skill is to be able to understand these nodes, to become successful at anything. The same thing as Lionel said last week, is you have to manage your emotions. Your emotions, when somebody says no, it just means not right now. It means a lot of things. It means I don't know. It means a lot of things, but it certainly shouldn't clench your armor because you have to get to RD. Now I'm telling you the RD that Once you get there, and I want you to look at 5 or 6 people in your group, your massive organization, and you tell them what they have to get to RD. and you know, you have to get to RD. You're going to make some money in the beginning of this business because it's designed for the new people to come in and do something that first month to make some money, but you have to get to RD. And I'm telling you, everybody on this call has a unique ability to do that, and fairly quickly. I say quickly, within 6 months, because when this thing blows up, you need to be in RD. It's just that simple. And it's so bad, it's so important that I got to do it again. We already won. We want to do it again. I'm going to do it again. It's only $300. Let's roll, okay? And if you get a Vivid, and you get a Vivid, you get the money's back next week. This is crazy. So with that said, I'm going to turn the floor back over to Mr. Thomas. I am done, and thank you very much. There you go.